Hi, you guys. Welcome to another episode of the Empower Her talk show with your host, Coach Salita. I hope you guys have had a great week. We still have one more day. Well, we have, one more day to go. Okay. I want to first thank AOC for this great opportunity, as I say all the time. And I want to thank LUS and Cox Cable, also in the surrounding six parishes, you guys. Thank you very much for this great opportunity again. Well. As you can see, the title of our show today is Mental Health Month and Mind Your Mental. Okay. Because we're going to talk definitely a lot about mental health this month because it's so important, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, first of all, I want to say I want to give you guys some information from our last show when we talk about when I talked about the you can't clip my wings, excuse me, movement, and I'm going to give you some resources that you can definitely use. And I'm going to share my screen real quick, so you guys give me a moment here, okay? So that I'm able to share this information with you guys. Here we go. Okay. So I don't know if you've ever heard of this organization called RAIN. Okay. And RAIN is a organization that happened more than 20 years ago. And what they do is they're an organization that helps people who have gone through some things, okay, who have been sexually assaulted, who have, oh, wow, see, I told you, mental health. I told you that, guys. They're the National Sexual Assault Hotline that came out of this. And they've been doing this for a long time. And so we're going to go a little bit about them and share some stuff with you. It says here already when we talk about statistics, we're talking about every 68 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted, and every 9 minutes, that victim is a child. Okay, let's look into what they're saying here real quick. Yeah, this is some good info. Every day, hundreds of Americans are affected by sexual violence. So let's talk about the scope of the problem. These are statistics that I think we should definitely look into real quick. I'm not going to take up a lot of time with this, but I definitely want to leave you guys with some numbers that you can use. Okay. And always go back to this website. It's RAINN.org. Okay. And you can definitely check out this website yourself. Okay. It says, when we talk about inmates, we talk about 80,600 were sexually assaulted of rape. These are the latest numbers, okay? 60,000 were victim, these are children, were victim of substantiated or indicated sexual abuse. General public, 433,648 Americans 12 and older were sexually assaulted or raped. Military is 18,900 experienced unwanted sexual contact. Everyone is affected by sexual violence. Every 68 seconds, another American is sexually assaulted. One out of every six American women have been victims of attempted or completed rape in her lifetime. That's 14 point, might as well round it up to 15% completed, 2 or 3% attempted. About 3% of American men, or in 1 in 33, have experienced an attempted or completed rape in their lifetime. From 2009 to 2013, Child Protective Services agencies substantiated or found strong evidence to indicate that 63,000 children a year were victims of sexual abuse. A majority of child victims are 12 to 17. Of victims under the age of 18, 34% of victims sexual assault and rape are under 12, and 66% of the victims of sexual assault or rape are ages 12 through 17. 9 out of every 10 victims of rape are female. So 90% of females are more likely to be raped. And that's 17.7 million American women as of 1998. Now, if we go back further, that number would probably be astounding, you guys. And only 10%, I'm not and only, it's no comparison. Okay. It's devastating. 2.78 million American men as of 1998. Now, these are probably the ones that were actually reported. Okay, those numbers are probably much more higher. So it says the majority of sexual assaults occur or at near the victim's home. 55% near the victim's home, 15 in an open public place, 12% or near the relative's home, 10% in an enclosed but public area such as a parking lot, garage, and 8% on school property. The idea that it even happens on school property is crazy. Okay, happens anywhere actually is crazy. So what was the survivor doing when the crime occurred? 48% were sleeping or performing another activity at home. 29% were traveling to and from work or school or traveling to shop or run errands. 12% were working. 7% were attending school. 5% were doing an unknown or other activities. Wow. This is just breaking down the statistics where they get the information from. Okay. Wow. That's something to think about, you guys. Yeah, that is something to think about. So let's look at something else. Let's go back here for a minute. Let me see here. Let's talk about victims of sexual violence. It says here, sexual violence affects millions of Americans. Every 68 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted. On average, there are 463,634 victims ages 17 and 12 and older of rape and sexual assault each year in the United States. Younger people are at a higher risk of sexual violence. The majority of sexual assault victims are under 30. 15% age 12 to 17. 54% is ages 18 to 34. 28% is ages 35 to 64, and 3% is at the age of 65 and up. Wow. This is crazy. Ages 12 to 34 are the highest risk years of rape and sexual assault. Those aged 65 and older are 92% less likely than 12 to 24-year-olds to be a victim of rape or sexual assault, and 83% less likely than the 25 to 49 years of age. Wow. Women and girls experience sexual violence at higher rates. 1 in 6 women, 1 out of every 6 American woman has been the victim of attempted or completed rape in her lifetime. 14.8% completed, 2.3% attempted. As of 1998, the estimated is 17.7 million American women have been victims of attempted or completed rape. Young women are especially at risk. 82% of all juvenile victims are females. 90% of adult rape victims, are females. Females ages 16 to 19 are 4 times more likely than general population to be victims of rape, attempted rape, or sexual assault. Women ages 18 to 24 who are college students are 3 times more likely than women in general to experience sexual violence. Females of the same age who are not enrolled in college are 4 times more likely. So we talk about men and boys. So when we talk about men and boys, they are also affected by sexual violence. Males, college students at risk, males ages 18 to 24 who are college students are approximately 5 times more likely than non-students of the same age to be victims of rape or sexual assault. Wow. As of 1998, 2.78 million men in the U.S. have been victims of attempted or completed rape. About 3% of American men, or 1 in 3, have experienced an attempt or completed rape in their lifetime. 1 out of every 10 rape victims are male. Then we talk about transgender students are at higher risk for sexual violence. 21% of transgender college students have been sexually assaulted, compared to 18% of non transgender females and 4% of non transgender males. Sexual violence can have long term effects on victims. The likelihood that a person suffers suicidal or depressive thoughts increases after sexual violence. 94% of women who are raped experience symptoms of post traumatic stress disorder during the 2 weeks following the rape. 30% of women report symptoms of PTSD 9 months after the rape. 33% of women who are raped contemplate suicide. 13% of women who are raped attempt suicide. Approximately 70% of rape of sexual assault victims experience moderate to severe distress, a larger percentage than for any other violent crime. People who have been sexually assaulted are more likely to use drugs than the general public. 3.4%, excuse me, 3.4 times more likely to use marijuana, 6 times more likely to use cocaine, 10 times more likely to use other major drugs. Sexual violence also affects victims' relationships with their family, friends, and coworkers. 38% of the victims of sexual violence experience work or school problems, which can include significant problems with a boss, a coworker, or peer. 37% experience family friends problems, including getting into arguments more frequently than before, not feeling able to trust their family or friends, or not feeling as close to them as before the crime. 84% of survivors who were victimized by the intimate partner experienced professional or emotional issues, including moderate to severe distress or increased problems at work or school. 79% of survivors who were victimized by family members, close friends, or acquaintances experienced professional or emotional issues, including moderate to severe distress or increased problems at work or school. 67% of survivors who were victimized by a stranger experienced professional or emotional issues, including moderate to severe distress or increased problems at work or school. Victims are at risk of pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases. Studies suggest that chance of getting pregnant from one-time unprotected intercourse is between 3.1 to 5%, depending on the multitude of factors, including the time of the month intercourse occurred, whether contraceptives are used, and the age of the female. The average number of rapes and sexual assault against females of childbearing age is approximately 250,000. Thus, the number of children conceived from rape each year in the United States might range from 7,750 to 12,500. This is a very general estimate, and the actual number may differ. This statistic presents information from a number of different studies. Further, this information may not take into account factors which increase or decrease the likelihood of pregnancy, including but not limited to impact of birth control or condom used at the time of the attack, and fertility. Rainin presents this data for educational purposes only. This is all educational purposes only. Native Americans are the greatest risk of sexual violence. Wow, didn't know that. Okay. On average, American Indians ages 12 and older experienced 5,900 sexual assaults per year. American Indians are twice as likely to experience rape, sexual assault compared to all races. 41% of sexual assaults against American Indians are committed by a stranger, 34% by an acquaintance, and 25% by intimate or family members. Sexual violence affects thousands of prisoners across the country. An estimated 80,600 inmates each year experience sexual violence while in prison or jail. 60% of all sexual violence against inmates is perpetrated by the jail or prison staff. Wow. More than 50% of sexual contact between inmate and staff member, are all which is illegal, is unconsequential. Non-consensual. Sexual violence in the military often goes unreported. 6,153 military members reported experienced sexual assault during military service, and this was just the fiscal year of 2018. DOT estimates about 20,500 service members experienced sexual assault that year. DOD estimates 6.2% of the active duty women and 0.7% of active duty men experienced sexual assault in the year 2018. Wow, this is, but there is good news. It says sexual violence has fallen by half in the last 20 years. That is good. DNA evidence can increase likelihood of holding a perpetrator accountable, and the National Sexual Assault Hotline will always be free with your help. All right. So let's talk about numbers that you guys can call. Let's see here. I want to get the numbers. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Here we go. So the number that you can call for any type of sexual assault, you need someone to talk to. That number is 800-656-HOPE or 800-656-4673. Okay, to be connected with a trained staff member from a sexual assault service provider in your area. Okay. Wow. Calling National Sexual Assault Hotline gives you the access to a range of free services, including confidential support from a trained staff member, support finding a local health facility that is trained to care for survivors of sexual assault, and offers services like sexual assault forensic exams, someone to help you talk through what happened, local resources that can assist with your next steps toward healing and recovering, referrals for long-term support in your area, information about the laws in your community, and basic information about medical concerns. And it's asking if they're confidential. Yes, they are. If you wanted to know who a sexual assault service is, you can definitely go to this website. I don't want to spend too much time driving you guys crazy with all this information, because this is a lot of information. There was something I wanted to talk about. I want to see. I was looking for the numbers. I'm sorry. I didn't see them. Okay. I was looking for the numbers. Here we go. Hotline services. Let's see what we got with these. Let me see if numbers that I saw earlier. I don't see the numbers that I want. Okay. So this is consulting. Okay, let's see this right here, if that's where I saw those at. Wow. I can't find all the numbers that I was looking at earlier. Okay, there were some numbers I was looking at. I should have left it on the page. I didn't do that. So beat me up, you guys. No, don't do that. But anyway, but the number I definitely want you guys to remember is 800-656-HOPE. 800-656-HOPE. Okay. This website definitely has some great information on it that you can definitely share this information with other people. Okay. I want you guys to be able to do that. These are just some of their news story, story that came out. RAINN supports HSA HHS, Action on Non-Consensual Pelvic Exams in American Teaching Hospitals, raining calls on Mississippi to make report sex crime safe when substances have been used. Applauds Governor Evers for signing AB 940 critical funding for survivors of abuse into law. Reigning statement on New York court overturning Weinstein's felony conviction. I don't know if you guys know about that, but that definitely happened. If you guys know who Harry Weinstein is, he was a producer, a movie producer, and he was convicted. And 4 years later, he's about to probably get out. So check out that conversation. Check out that story. So let me see here. I want to look at something here real quick. Let's see something. Okay. So these are some questions that can be answered in here from this. Okay. Yeah, this is good information. Definitely take advantage of the information on here. And I'm glad I was able to find this for you guys. Because it's so much, it's so much that happens to our young women, to women like us, that it's crazy. As you saw, the numbers are very high for our young girls. For some reason, our young girls now are the target of this craziness, okay? So this is the website for RAINN. That's RAINN, and it's RAINN.org, okay? I really advise everybody to stay alert, pay attention who's around you, know what the warning signs is. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and go through the whole thing with you guys. I want you guys to definitely take time out and read. Take time to read and learn stuff. And they have warning signs for college-age adults, warning signs for teens, and warning signs for young children, because this stuff is so important. And I definitely want to leave you guys with that. So let's go on and talk about the ideal. I know I say, let me tell you something. If I was in the Toastmasters training right now, I'd get killed. No, just kidding. Because I'm using a lot. There it goes. Supposed to pause before you say something. But it feels like that air is empty and you're not, I don't know. That's just me. Okay, let's. You're like, what is wrong with her? No, I'm talking, I'm serious. So let's talk about the mental health, okay? As I said today, this month is Mental Health Month, and we're going to talk a lot about mental health because I think it's so, so, so important. Because I think we've all kind of lost it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We have lost it, okay? And we have to find our way back, huh? Okay. And we're going to do that. Let's see here. I want to go here and see something. Let's see if I can go back here. Okay. So I was talking about mental health with African Americans. That was one of the things I was talking about earlier. I was kind of bringing up some things that we could talk about tonight. And one of the things, one website I did come to was National Alliance on Mental Illness. And very good, got some great information in here. And definitely, you guys, I want you guys to also take advantage of this. It's NAMI.org. Again, NAMI.org. Check it out when we're talking about mental health. So since I am African American, okay, I definitely want to hit on Black African Americans and mental health, and why do we have people who are not getting the proper care, who are not seeing the proper doctors and the mental health providers, and the stigma that centers or covers our mental illness. It says what happens at the intersection of mental health in one's experience as a member of the Black community, While the experiences being Black in America varies tremendously, there are shared cultural factors that play a role in helping define mental health and supporting. Let me do something real quick here. Okay, so let me do this here. Okay, so you guys can see where I'm at. All right. All right, so here we go. So, parts of this shared culture experience, family connections, values, expression through spiritual or music, resilience on community, reliance, on community and religious networks are enriching and can be great sources for strength and support. However, another part of this shared experience, being subject to racism, discrimination, and inequity, can significantly affect a person's mental health. Being treated or perceived as less than because of the color of your skin can be stressful and even traumatizing. Additionally, members of the Black community face structural challenges assessing the care and treatment they need. So there is a problem with us getting the proper treatment when it comes to mental health. Now, according to the Health and Human Service Office of Minority Health, Black adults in the U.S. are more likely than white adults to report persistent symptoms of emotional distress, which is very strange because with a stigma, we don't do that. But I'm glad that they're saying that we do, such as sadness and feeling like everything is an effort. Black adults living below the poverty line are more than twice as likely to report serious psychological distress than those with more financial security. Despite the needs, only 1 in 3 Black adults with mental illnesses receive treatment, according to the American Psychiatric Association's Mental Health Facts for African American Guide. They're also less likely to receive guideline consistent care, less frequently included in research. Wow. More likely to use emergency rooms or primary care rather than mental health specialists. So, what are some of the barriers to mental health care for us? Socioeconomic disparities, the stigma. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. So, socioeconomic disparities. Socioeconomic factors can make treatment options less available. As of in 2020, 10.4% of Black adults in the U.S. had no form of health insurance. So just imagine, with no form of health insurance, wow, how that really kind of wreak havoc on our mental. Okay, the Black community, like other communities of color, are more likely to experience socioeconomic disparities such as exclusion from health, education, social and economic resources. These disparities may contribute to worse mental health outcomes, just like what I just said. We talk about stigmas, negative attitudes and beliefs toward people who live with mental health conditions is pervasive within the U.S. and can be particularly strong within the Black community. Although beliefs and attitudes vary, research shows that many Black adults, especially older adults, view mental health conditions as a consequence of personal weakness. As a result, people may experience shame about having a mental illness and worry that they may be discriminated against due to their condition. And yes, that can be definitely true. Okay. People will call you crazy in a heartbeat, but they don't even know what they're saying when they call you crazy. Okay. And I'm talking about people who are being mean. I'm not talking about, because, we'll say that to each other. Oh, you're crazy. Say something crazy, or it's really something funny. But what with us, we don't say anything because it hurts. We feel ashamed, because we're taught to be these strong people. In reality, we're like crumbling inside. Okay. So for many in the Black community, it can be incredibly challenging to discuss the topic of mental health due to how they may be perceived by others. This fear could prevent people from seeking mental health care when they really need it. Do you see what I just said? Okay. Additionally, many people choose to seek support from their faith community rather than seeking a medical diagnosis. In many Black communities in the U.S., a church, mosque, or other faith institution can play a central role as a meeting place and source of strength. Faith and spirituality can help in the recovery process and can be an important part of the treatment plan. For example, spiritual leaders and faith communities can provide support and reduce isolation. However, they should not be the only option for people whose daily functioning is impaired by mental health symptoms. Now we're talking about providers. Yeah, provider bias and inequality of care. Black people have historically been negatively affected by prejudice and discrimination in the healthcare system in the US. Unfortunately, many Black people still have these negative experiences when they attempt to seek treatment. Provider bias, both conscious and unconscious, and a lack of cultural competency can result in misdiagnosis and inadequate treatment. This ultimately can lead to mistrust of mental health professionals and create a barrier for many to engage in treatment. Black people may also be more likely to identify and describe physical symptoms related to mental health problems. For example, they may describe bodily aches and pains when talking about depression. A healthcare provider who is not culturally competent might not recognize these symptoms of a mental health condition. Additionally, Black individuals are more likely to receive a misdiagnosis of schizophrenia when expressing symptoms related to mood disorder. So because doctors can be very indifferent to us, and the reality is, yes, this is happening to this day in 2024, that we are not getting the proper care. And sometimes people just give up because they try to tell these doctors how they feel, the symptoms, and nobody's listening, and they give up. And then that can lead to more trauma for that person. Okay. Mental trauma for that person and emotional trauma. Okay, because they are not getting the help they need. And more, I think it's gotten just a tad bit better, but I think it's still there that doctors can be, just kind of what I've realized too with doctors, even just regular health care checkups, that doctors are sort of like indifferent to a lot of things, not just to our mental health. A lot of them are indifferent to anything that deals with us. And that's sad, but it's like that. Okay. When meeting with a provider, it can be helpful to ask questions to get a sense of their level of cultural awareness. Providers expect welcome questions from their patients or clients, since this helps them better understand what is important in their treatment. Here are some sample questions. Have you treated other Black people or received training in cultural competence for Black mental health? It's funny that you have to ask them these questions. If not, how do you plan to provide me with culturally sensitive, patient-centered care? I love that. How do you see our cultural background influencing our communication and my treatment? Do you use different approach in your treatment when working with patients from different cultural backgrounds? What is your current understanding of differences in health outcomes for Black patients? I am going to suggest this is a good segue into talking about just a little bit of a book called The Apartheid, Medical Apartheid. Check that book out. I can't remember who the author is, but it's called Medical Apartheid, okay? Whether you seek help from a primary care professional or a mental health professional, you should finish your sessions with the healthcare professional feeling heard and respected. You may want to ask yourself, did my provider communicate effectively with me? Is my provider willing to integrate my beliefs, practices, identity, and cultural background into my treatment plan? Did I feel like I was treated with respect and dignity? Do I feel like my provider understands what relates with me? The relationship and communication between a person and their mental health provider is a key aspect of treatment. It's very important for a person to feel that their identity is understood by their provider in order to receive the best possible support. Because you know what? We can become assembly line pieces. Do you understand what I'm saying? We can become an assembly line pieces. He's just tracking us in one by one. They know your name. They know your address. They know some of your symptoms, and they check you for those symptoms, and then next person. Do you know now, even with doctors, with your providers, all they do is two things to you, well, three things maybe. They check your heart, they check your back, tell you to cough, they check in your mouth, they might check in your ear, okay? They might tap your knees, and they might hit the palm of your feet. They might press on your stomach, and that's all they do. They don't do anything else. Then they tell you, get up off the table. Hop up off the table. Okay? I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But this is not funny, but I just want to let you guys know that that's what they do to us. We come to the office. They might ask us a bunch of questions, but that's it. It says if finances are preventing you from finding help, contact your local health or mental health clinic or the local government to see what services you qualify for. Sorry. You can find contact information online. Find treatment, samhsa.gov, or by calling the National Treatment Referral Helpline at 800-662-4357. Again, 800-662-4357. So that's the information about Black mental health. So this is called National Alliance on Mental Illness. Okay. Let's see. There is something else I wanted to kind of hit on with you guys when we're dealing with mental health. Let's talk real quick about, let's see something here. Okay, good. So let's talk a little bit real quick about mental health education. Let's see. Let's see what we want to talk about. Okay, so these are actually different classes and information that you can go on here and share. I don't want to take up all your time with this, but they have different good information that you guys can share about mental health. Okay, if you're like me, they have podcasts and they have webinars that they do for you guys. They actually have a resource library. Good information, you guys. Yes, support groups. So they have some great information in here that you guys can definitely check out. Okay. And understand what mental health is and how it affects us. So this is what I was thinking about right here, was warning signs and symptoms of mental health. Let's see something here. You guys, I am going to probably, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to share extreme difficulty concentrating, staying still. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. So I was going to definitely watch the video, but let's see here. It doesn't tell me how long it takes for the video. So we're looking at trying to tell the difference between what is expected behavior are and what might be the signs of a mental illness isn't always easy. There's no easy test that can let someone know if there's a mental illness or if actions and thoughts might be typical behaviors of a person or the result of a physical illness. Each illness has its own symptoms, but common signs of mental illness in adults and adolescents can include the following: excessive worrying or fear, feeling excessive low or sad, confused thinking or problem concentrating and learning, extreme motion changes, including uncontrollable highs or feelings of euphoria, prolonged or strong feelings of irritability or anger, avoiding friends and social activities, difficulties understanding or relating to other people, changes in sleeping habits or feeling tired or low energy, changes in eating habits, such as increased hunger or lack of appetite, changes in sex drive, difficulty perceiving reality, delusion or hallucination in which a person experiences and senses things that don't exist in objective reality, inability to perceive changes in one's own feelings, behaviors, or personality, lack of insight or anosognosia. Wow. Overuse of substances like alcohol or drugs, multiple physical ailments without obvious causes, such as headaches, stomach aches, vague and ongoing aches and pains, thinking about suicide, inability to carry out daily activities or handle daily problems and stress, an intense fear of weight gain or concern with appearance. Mental health conditions can also begin to develop in young children because they're still learning how to identify and talk about thoughts and emotions. Their most obvious symptoms are behavioral. These symptoms in children may include the following: changes in school performance, excessive worry, anxiety, for instance, fighting to avoid bed or school, hyperactivity, hyperactive behavior, frequent nightmares, frequent disobedience or aggression, frequent temper tantrums. Okay. Um, when you get a diagnosis, okay, knowing warning signs can help you let you know if you need to speak to a professional. For many people, getting an accurate diagnosis is the first step in the treatment plan. Unlike diabetes or cancer, there is no medical test that can accurately diagnose mental illness. Okay. A mental health provider or professional will use the diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorders, which is published by the American Psychiatric Association to assess symptoms and make a diagnosis. The manual lists criteria, including feelings and behaviors and time limits, in order to be officially classified as a mental health condition. After diagnosis, a healthcare provider can help develop a treatment plan that could include medication therapy or lifetime changes. All right, so we know now what the signs and symptoms. So if you know somebody who has the signs and symptoms, you can definitely talk to them. And if you have them, I'm advising you to get some help, okay? Not suggesting, I'm advising you. Because mental illness can lead to suicide, okay? I just want you guys to know that. I'm thinking we talked about that already. All right. So we're going to come out of there, and that is called NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness. Um, the next, I was actually on here talking Mental Health America. Let's go to the. It basically kind of have some of the same similar information, but they have statistics on here, and I'm quite sure it's probably some on NAMI too. But this is what I saw on this one. So it's basically saying that 46% of Americans will meet the criteria of a diagnosable mental health condition sometime in their life, sometime in their life, and half of those people will develop conditions by the age of 14. So it starts out early. Number of U.S. adults with mental illness is 50 million. Wow, that is a lot. Anxiety is 42.5 million. Substance disorder is about 19 million. And number of youth with substance disorder use in the past year is 1 million. Bipolar is 3.3 million. Okay. These are some big numbers. 21 million in depression. Okay. Post-traumatic stress disorder, we have 12 million. Schizophrenia, we have less than 1.5 million. Wow. Suicidal thoughts is 11.4 million. Yeah, these numbers are not stopping. And then they break them down by their race or ethnicity. Black Americans have 16%. Latinos have 16%. Asian Americans have 15%. Native Americans have 19%. Biracial has 25%. Wow. So this is another um, page that I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. I apologize. I'm just trying to get back up to the front, to the top. So you guys, this is, wow. This is like, yeah. And it's so important um, to definitely, let's talk about mental health and public policy. Let's see what this is talking about. Mental Health America takes a unique approach to policy because MHA believes policy should ask people what they need to live the lives they want and support them in getting there. Recovery is founded on the principle that people can take on meaningful roles in the community when they receive the support they need for mental health challenges. MHA's goal is to recover all for all. There is nothing more important than allowing everyone the chance to live the life that they want with meaningful roles in community. This organization was founded in 1909. It's the nation's leading community-based nonprofit dedicated to addressing needs of those living with mental illness and promoting overall mental health. Our work is driven by our commitment to promote mental health as a critical part of the overall wellness, including prevention services for all, early identification and intervention for those at risk, integrated care, services supports for those who need it. Recovery is the goal. So this is some good resource information. You guys, I'm not trying to force this on you. I'm just giving you some information that you may be able to use. Um, oh, wow. Let me go back here. Let's see here. Is that where I was at? Yeah. Let's see. Was that where? I want to make sure I was. That you guys saw that. Wait a minute. Let me see. No. Okay. So, yeah, you guys, I want you guys to take time out to definitely see this information and use it when you can. Okay. Because I think it's very important. Again, this is Mental Health Month, and we're definitely going to be talking, deep diving in here. We're going to talk about, I want to definitely hit on suicide. I want to talk about how we interact with each other when we have these issues, how people kind of take us, who receives, and understands what we go through. All of that, that's very important that we talk about that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, go back to here, and remove that off there. And then I'm back. Okay. So again, we were talking about mind your mental today because we know this is Mental Health Month. I wanted to share that information with you guys. We're going to share more information. Just give me a chance. I promise you I will be bringing you that information. About how, and then I want to talk about how African American women and mental health. I want to talk about military vets with mental health. All of those things are very important. All those different people are very important. Everything is not done the same, no matter how much someone says that it's done the same. It's not. You cannot treat everybody with the same thing, okay? Because there's too many. And if you know anything about that book that they were talking about, the diagnostic statistics of mental health, it is a whole genre of things that we have no idea that's dealing with mental health. I do want to tell you guys, if you need the help, reach out to someone, okay, and get the help. It would be wonderful if there would be like in churches, because for sure churches are some of our ways of releasing our emotions. I say we should have a person who's a mental health counselor at church every Sunday. That would be his job or her job. Okay. And he would have to be upstanding. He would have to be able to um, talk with confidence with each person who needs help. We want to say it's the pastor, but a lot of pastors are not certified to do that kind of work. I'm I have, which is so amazing. I have a brother-in-law. My husband's brother is a doctor of psychology, and he is a pastor. Isn't that wonderful? He's both. We need that. We need that here. We need that in our communities. We need that in our churches. Um, and I think it would be wonderful to have that. And if lots of these churches have people who have that, maybe they would want to volunteer some of their time. Okay. That would be wonderful if they would volunteer some of their time um, uh, with some of people who are having some issues that they might be ashamed of. Okay. Um, and if they are friendly, that would be a great idea to do, is to use them, or not use them, but utilize their skills to help people get through some things while they're in church, because everybody cannot afford to see a psychiatrist. Okay, everybody can't afford it. Okay, but there are ways that you can get help. But if you had one that was volunteering in your church, I think that would be wonderful, right? I think that would help out the congregation. I think people would look at things differently. Um, when it comes to mental health, I want you guys to definitely keep watch your mental, check in with yourself from time to time. I put a post up on You Can't Clip My Wings, and I said Mental Health Month. And I think I said check your mental. And it's a picture of a beach scenery, and I've got women doing yoga on the beach. I said I got, because I put it together. I got women doing, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up real quick to show it to you guys. Let's see here. Let's see. La 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 la. Wrong thing. I'm sorry. Wrong thing. I looked at the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Let's see. What did I recently do? Let's see here. Okay. Here we go. Okay, let's see. There we go. So let's go back over here, and let's go back over here. Okay, so I'm going to share this screen with you one more time, because I want to show you guys something. Let's see. Okay. Mm-hmm. Here we go. So I made this flyer, and I wanted to put it on our on Can't Clip My Wings. And it's actually just a picture. Let me make sure that I can see that. Yeah, there we go. Um, so it's a picture. Nope, wrong thing. How did I miss it? Pull it back up again. There we go. Okay, so it's a picture of women walking on the beach, laying down, relaxing, getting some yoga in. And I thought that was a beautiful scenery in the background, because we need to do that. We need to get away and check our mental. And I think that's so important that we do that. So I share that. If you go on You Can't Clip My Wings, you will definitely see um, this picture. So let's get back here. So yes, so I thought that was very important to definitely check your mental, um, and being able to do that for this month, or any month actually, is so important, you guys. And like I said before, we're going to be talking, like, in the next um, we're going to be talking about this, because I think it's so important. I think talking about how important our mental health is to us, how vital it is for us to be able to deal with so much stuff, and the changing of times, and the people and the situations have changed so much, and they're changing fast, they're changing rapidly. what can we do to every now and then just take a breather, okay? Every now and then just take some time, go in the corner, sit still, don't talk to anybody, don't let nobody talk to you. I mean, there's so many things we can do, and we're going to talk about how we can handle having some time off, how without bothering anybody, without having to take the time off. This is going to be crazy, but I'm going to say this. It's kind of personal. My sister Yolanda, before she passed away, it was something that she used to do all the time when she got off from work, because it seems like she could not get no time to herself. So she would go in the bathroom, okay? Especially when we're talking, me and her be talking, and everybody is calling her name. Both the girls, the dog's barking, and the husband is calling her name. So she goes in the restroom and sit just so that she can just get that 5 minutes of mental. And we be laughing on the phone about it. It was serious, but it wasn't serious, because I could hear them in the background. I could hear the dog. I could hear them calling her name. I could hear them standing at the door. So it was like, oh my God, I could not do that. I would be so mad. I would be like, leave me alone. You know, I couldn't do it, but she would do it all the time. I mean, that was the way that she found time to check her mental. Um, and yeah, that came to my mind just now. But yeah, she would have to do that because that was the only place she could go. And I know there's other places people go. They go sit in their car. You ever go come home, okay, and you're just not ready to go inside, and you sit in the car, and you're just thinking, oh gosh, I cannot wait. I see my bed. Before I see my bed, I see my shower. You're just thinking, and you just know when you get in that house, it is going to be everybody calling your name once you're here. Mommy, what's for dinner? Mommy, I didn't get my homework done. Mommy, I need you to sign this. Honey, I need clean shirts. All that. I'm sorry. I want to laugh because I want this to be funny in a sense. But does that even click in your mind? That's how we do. And we get so used to doing it, it's like it doesn't even phase us, you know. I got football practice. No, I got tennis. What about cheerleading practice? The whole 9 yards. And I didn't get this done, Mom. I got to explain to you why I got an F on this paper. Do you got 5 minutes? Oh my God. And your husband steady saying, I'm going to have to use the car tomorrow, babe. I have to put mine in the shop. I'm sorry, but I have to laugh because all that is going. I'm a very imaginative person, okay? I use my imagination constantly all the time. So get used to it, okay? But I thought that would be a way to kind of give you a scenario of our everyday lives, with all this craziness going on, prices going up. You're trying to keep your friendships going, and sometimes that doesn't work because you're not doing enough of this and you're not doing enough of that. You're trying to keep your household in order, and that's kind of crazy. So it's so much going on, and I just like inside, it's like, oh my God, we got to get through this day. And then let's not talk about mental health and work. My God, mental health in the workplace. Okay, that's going to be an awesome conversation to have on another episode of the Empowered Her Talk Show. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff this month, and I want you guys not to only just this be so serious, I want you to also enjoy it. Okay. I am going to go ahead and let you guys go. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us here on the Empower Her Show. Don't forget to go to our website at youcan'tclipmywings.com. Don't forget to check out You Can't Clip My Wings on our Facebook page. Check out the new blog that came out. Don't forget to go YCCMW2020, where I do some. I like to drive and talk. I'm driving and talking, I guess I want to say. I want you guys to check that out. Definitely check those videos out when you can. I just love doing this. I love talking to you guys. I love getting all this information out to you. And again, I want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me today. You guys have a great, great evening and have a great weekend and be safe. And check your mental. Nope, let me rephrase that. That's what it says here. Today's show was mind your mental. Okay? Bye, you guys.